Imagine packing for your next flight, confidently zipping up your bag, thinking you've got everything under control. You know the drill: no big bottles, no knives, no weird gadgets. But here's the plot twist: 2025 brought some strict new rules that could ruin that plan real fast. Items you've flown with before, now banned. Some changes are so sneaky, even frequent flyers are getting caught off guard. Before you find yourself unpacking at the airport in front of a confused security agent, here's everything you need to know to keep your bag from getting rejected. Power banks, the new fire risk you didn't see coming. In early 2025, a flight in South Korea was forced to evacuate before takeoff because a power bank suddenly caught fire. That one moment sparked global concern, and soon after, tighter airline regulations. Now, if your power bank is too powerful, it won't even make it to your seat. Devices over 160 watt-hours, roughly 32,000 milliamp hours, are banned across the board, no matter which airline you fly with. The only safe zone? Power banks under 100 watt-hours, usually under 20,000 milliamp hours. If yours is somewhere between 100 and 160, you'll need airline approval first, and you can only bring two. But here's the catch: they must go in your carry-on, not your checked bag. Batteries overheating in cargo is a nightmare waiting to happen, and airlines aren't taking that risk anymore. Always check your power bank label and double check airline rules before you board. Smart luggage might be too smart to fly. At first, smart suitcases sounded like a dream: built-in chargers, GPS tracking, even remote locks. But in 2025, your sleek high-tech bag might get turned away if you can't remove the battery. Airports are no longer allowing any smart luggage with built-in power banks that can't be taken out. And it doesn't matter how new or fancy your bag is. If the battery's sealed in, you're going to be in for a rough time at check-in. Why? That same fire risk. Lithium batteries sealed inside bags pose a problem, especially when they can't be accessed in an emergency. Security staff won't make exceptions, and you won't get a second chance at the gate. So before your trip, check the back panel of your suitcase. If you can't pull the battery out easily, it's better to switch to a safer option or prepare to say goodbye to your smart luggage altogether. Liquid rules, still standing strong in 2025. In 2024, it seemed like change was finally coming. A few UK airports started testing looser rules around liquids, and travelers got excited. No more stuffing tiny bottles into a clear bag, but that hope didn't last. Just months later, several of those same airports, like London City and Newcastle, brought back the old rule, forcing flyers to return to the 100 milliliter limit. Why? Security concerns. Across Europe, even more advanced scanner systems failed to meet strict safety standards, so the European Union scrapped its plan to phase out the 311 rule. Fast forward to now, and the 100 milliliter rule remains standard across nearly every international airport. If you're packing toiletries or skincare, keep each bottle under 100 milliliters and store them in a transparent, resealable bag. No exceptions, no shortcuts. Ignoring this could mean waving goodbye to your favorite moisturizer at the checkpoint. Europe's budget airlines are cutting bag sizes, and cutting deep. If you're flying Ryanair, Wizz Air, or EasyJet, be warned: what counted as a free carry-on last year might cost you now. These low-cost carriers have made their bag policies even tighter in 2025, shrinking the dimensions allowed for free hand luggage. And if your bag sticks out by even a few centimeters, you can be forced to pay an extra fee on the spot or check it in. For many travelers, this means buying smaller suitcases or paying extra just to bring the same bag as before. Gate agents now use metal cages to test your bag's size, and if it doesn't slide in easily, it's game over. The new limits are airline specific, so don't rely on past experience. Before you pack, pull up your airline's exact carry-on rules, measure your bag, and leave a little wiggle room. Don't let surprise fees ruin your trip before it even begins. Air Canada's new economy policy: pay to carry, pay to sit. Starting in January 2025, Air Canada decided to change how economy feels, especially if you're booking the cheapest ticket. With their basic economy fare, travelers now only get one free personal item, like a small backpack or a purse. Want to bring a standard carry-on suitcase? That'll cost you $35. If you're bringing more than one bag, expect that fee to jump to $65 or more. And there's more. Just a few weeks after this baggage update, Air Canada removed free seat selection from basic economy too. Unless you're willing to pay extra, your seat will be assigned randomly. No aisle, no window, just whatever's left. If you're traveling with friends or family, you may not even sit together. It's part of a growing trend. Cheaper tickets come with more restrictions, so when booking, make sure you know what you're really paying for, or not paying for. Sharp objects and tools, surprisingly common, definitely banned. Most travelers already know not to pack knives in their carry-ons. But in 2025, airport security is going a step further, banning a whole range of everyday tools and gadgets. A screwdriver? Too risky. A wrench over 10 centimeters? Also banned. Even a pair of scissors can get flagged if the blades are too long. It's not about whether you think it's dangerous, it's about how the rules are written. Tent poles and stakes for camping? Same deal. Security treats anything long, metal, and pointy as a possible weapon. And don't count on explaining that it's just for your hiking trip. If an item even looks like it could be used to hurt someone, it won't be allowed through. The safest route? Pack anything sharp or tool-like in your checked luggage. Carry-on is for essentials, not gear that could be mistaken for hardware. Toys and sports gear that looks suspicious. You might think a brightly colored toy gun or a foam sword is obviously fake, but airport security isn't taking any chances. In 2025, if it even resembles a weapon, it's likely getting pulled from your bag. Staff don't have time to sort real threats from pretend ones, especially when things move fast in the screening area. This extends beyond toys. Traveling athletes, take note. Baseball bats, hockey sticks, golf clubs, anything that can be swung isn't allowed in the cabin. It's not about what you plan to do with it, it's about what's possible in the worst case scenario. If you're bringing gear for a game or practice, check it in with your luggage. Showing up with it in your carry-on could mean missing your flight or leaving equipment behind at the gate. Powders, not as harmless as they seem. You may not think twice about packing baby powder, protein shake mix, or baking ingredients in your carry-on, but TSA sees it differently. In the US, any powder-like substance over 12 ounces, or about 350 milliliters, can be flagged for extra screening. If it's not something easily identifiable, there's a chance it could be thrown out. This policy came from concerns that powders could be used to hide explosive materials. While there are some exceptions like baby formula, prescribed medications, and cremated remains, most other powders face stricter rules. That doesn't mean you can't travel with them, but you may want to move them to your checked bag to keep quantities small. Less hassle, less delay, and fewer awkward conversations with security. Thermometers, toasters, and other odd bands. Packing a mercury thermometer might seem harmless, especially for travelers who want to monitor their health. But in 2025, those little glass tubes are a hard no. If broken, mercury thermometers release toxic substances that can turn into a major hazmat situation. Digital or alcohol-based thermometers are perfectly fine, but mercury ones will be confiscated on site. Then there are the stranger bans. A toaster in your carry-on? Not allowed. Power tools like drills or saws? Also banned. Even if you just bought them and they're still in the box, security isn't going to make exceptions. These items are heavy, potentially hazardous, and better suited for checked luggage. If it feels like something you'd use in a workshop or a kitchen, not mid-flight, assume it doesn't belong in the cabin. Why the liquid rule still exists and still matters. After all these years, travelers still ask, why can't I bring a regular bottle of water through security? The answer dates back to 2006, when British authorities foiled a terrorist plot at Heathrow Airport. Attackers planned to hide liquid explosives in drink containers and detonate them mid-flight. The threat was very real, and the response was immediate. That's how the 311 rule came to be. Liquids must be in containers of 100 milliliters or less, placed inside one quart-sized, clear resealable plastic bag. It wasn't just a random policy, it was a direct result of a major international scare. And despite advances in scanning technology, most airports worldwide still enforce this rule. The goal is simple, keep everyone safe. So even if it feels like an inconvenience, know that it's rooted in a very real reason. Traveling in 2025 isn't just about booking the right flight, it's about knowing the new rules. What used to be fine might now get flagged. A gadget here, a toy there, a forgotten battery buried in your suitcase, and suddenly you're stuck at security, repacking your bag while your boarding group walks past. But now that you know the facts, you can avoid these last-minute surprises. Check your airline's policies before every trip. Look up what's allowed and what's not. Measure your bags, review your gear, and leave anything questionable at home or in checked luggage. You'll save time, money, and stress. So tell us, which of these rules surprised you the most? Drop your answer in the comments, and if you want to discover even more airport secrets most people don't know, check out the next video. We've got some jaw droppers coming your way.